So I just wanted to do a quick comparison between my first Masterpiece movie Ironhide received from Amazon compared to the second replacement I ordered. And replacement comes on the condition that you send the first one back, otherwise they'll charge you for the second one, which I fully intend to do. Just first I want to actually compare them and just in case the second one wasn't any better or whatever, I'd just keep the better of the two, most likely to have a copy of this figure. So a couple flaws that were interesting. The first one actually came in a double taped box, but the figure inside, indicating that they may have opened it to fix something, put it back in, but the figure inside was fully sealed with the plastic tie, so it itself wasn't removed and returned. They were fixing something in the factory. Quickly, one thing easily noticeable is those feet, that die cast. I don't know if the camera's on the phone's catching it, but they're very kind of muddy, smudgy looking, like kind of old, worn down, weird looking. Whereas on the replacement copy, very, very shiny and pristine. I don't know if it's the type of material used. There's some on his crotch as well. But same thing, this one's all very kind of, I'd say gross looking. Looked like something screwed up the finish, something gross that doesn't come off. While this one, again, I'm trying to move it so the light shines off it. Very shiny, very pristine, all good. This one, the chest tabs don't work, and any sort of movement on the figure, they just shake and sag down. These joints are not tight enough at all to hold the weight of the arms, even if you remove those cannons, which I hear are not removable. The panels that the cannons themselves attach to are so loose, and all of them, even my new one, these tabs don't plug in. It's just a design where it's not aligned well with that hole. It just flops down. Same thing here. Totally useless for any sort of posing. So since the chest doesn't plug in, the weight of the arm kind of tilts it back like that, and the angles don't hold. Also, mine has a couple weird issues. This grill frame right here is duplicated on this side, so this piece is actually the one that belongs on his right side. So then if I look at that closely, because that frame piece is not a correct left piece, that's why there's weird gaps in the slot up here, and why it kind of sticks out weird and you can see tabs, because it's actually an upside down piece. It screws up his truck mode a bit. So there it is. This copy is really, really bad quality. It's got more things wrong with it that I'm not even going to point out, like the windshield back here has the wrong size metal pin from the joint, like on the hinge below, so the roof isn't properly plugged in. Part of the pin head doesn't even stick out, and the whole thing seems like it could break off. Okay, on to the new one. And their boxes did have a totally different lot code. New one, very solid. Die cast looks good. Arm panels still don't plug in. This is a design issue that affects all of them. I don't believe it's a QC issue, quality control. The very solid. I can't even move these panels while holding the phone with the other hand. I think I can maybe push this one, use my thumb. But it doesn't matter that they don't plug in really, because once you get it in place, it holds. You can pose the arm and it'll hold. While in this one, they just hang down with gravity. So however you pose the arms, unless you pose them straight down, those will sag. And then if you look at the chest, they're holding their angles the exact way I posed them. The joints are much, much tighter. There I moved it outwards a bit. It stays, moved it inwards. This one, if there's a way you can get it to kind of lock and hold at this angle, the second you like pick up the figure and move it, they just totally detach and go crazy. Both chest pegs down there plug in. The grill piece here is correct and here's correct. So very, very much happier with this figure. Still unhappy with the design of the chest. These arms, they should really not be coming from back here. In the movie, they still come out from under the wheel well, just behind the wheel. These wheels should be a bit farther forward and in, while the arms should be coming out from kind of right behind this thing in the movie. Another weird design choice is these wing panels. And again, this isn't a quality issue, it's all design now. These panels in the movie hang off of the back of the hood right there. So they form kind of like wings or covers over the back of the arms. But I don't know why here they're, on this figure by design, they're attached to the back of the arms. In the prototypes, you could also see these folded up against each other. Maybe there was some issue with the hinge, and that's why he was delayed. Maybe this hinge was reworked. And again, why these hang off the back of the arms and kind of hinder articulation is weird. I know a lot of people have been transforming him to be more in here, but that's incorrect. In the movie, they're hanging behind his arms like that, or even sometimes to the side a bit. Considering this windshield was pegged in here in vehicle mode, they could have definitely made this roof fold over, and maybe the windshield, if there was a hinge holding it in some different spot, they could have made this whole panel with the windshield folded under it, hanging off of this hood piece instead of the arm. That's just kind of a weird design. In my opinion, he has a great design, the legs, chest, and the head, and then it all kind of falls apart when you got to these shoulders. I think these arm hinges should not be attached to the back of these hood pieces. They should be attached to some sort of central connection to his chest, kind of like the Studio Series, while these roof panels, or these hood panels should just be on their own. Yeah, they could have left them posable, but not with the entire arm attached to the back of them. But anyway, if you got a dud like this through Amazon, please do replace it. Night and day difference. The metal finish, the chest pegs plugging in, the joints on the hood being tight enough to hold even this awkward back of the arm design, these cannon panels. This one's a lot more fun. He holds in vehicle mode, even though he's still frustrating to transform thanks to those designs. This one is honestly like such garbage for a $100 figure. Cannot believe that this actually made. I mean, look at this thing. Just from showing a couple things, it just falls apart more and more. You have to constantly be moving things back into place, and then slight movement and boom, just falls apart. All right, cool. So get your replacement on Amazon if you need one. Bye.